ESPN Radio.
And ESPNradio.com.
What's happening? Scott Van Pelt Show, ESPN Radio, ESPNradio.com. We're presented by Progressive Insurance. Our guest today up here on the Subway First Take Hotline with Ryan Russillo. We are live in Arlington, Texas for the Cowboys Classic. It's Michigan and Alabama. We are in the East Plaza outside of Cowboys Stadium. If you're in the Dallas area, well, Colin Cowherd's on the radio on tape, so you wouldn't know where we were. But if you're listening on satellite or an app or something, and you're in the area, come on by. Some guy from Michigan just asked if we could have a handshake or a hug, and Ryan said handshake before a hug.
Yeah, I said probably odds better with that one.
Yeah, so we shook hands and off he went. The number, real quick, ESPN number of the day is 1. That's the number of sweat towels that Steve has used thus far. Stanford Steve is in a full lather. It's warm. It's warm here.
Yeah, it is, and we were here exactly a year ago, and it's way nicer today than it was last year, so I'm not unhappy about it at all.
I'm not complaining. Fired up. College game day's here tomorrow. Radio 12 to 7. First game day of the year on the television side as well. Game is at 7 Eastern on ESPN Radio. You can watch it on ABC. College football season is underway. SVP show poll question. ESPNradio.com. You can check it out. Who will win the Cowboy Classic? Alabama, Michigan. My guess is this will be a very regional vote, and the people from the MIT, a.k.a. the state of Michigan, will represent them, and I think everybody else will just assume it's Alabama, so you can log on, vote, and let us know. We'll get to results throughout the day. College football kicked off last night. I was in studio with the boys.
Yeah, by the way, can I jump in? Like, what's your schedule like now, so people realize what you're doing now with college football?
Well, it's aggressive, but hey, I'm not going to complain. The summer, your boy was just kind of on vacation, which was fun. Last night in studio, and since we had a double header, the last hit I did was around 12:30. Got home after 1. Was on a plane this morning at 6. So my dog, Oates the dog, normally, like, he'll follow me wherever. This morning at 4 bells, I nudged him to make sure he wasn't dead, because he gave me one minor look. It was like, hell no, okay? I'm not following you. It is too early. So it's an aggressive schedule, but look, I, like you and like so many people who are down here in the Arlington area from these two great fan bases and all around the country, you love the sport, so a few weeks a year, this will be the job detail. If I do a face plant at some point between 1 and 4 Eastern, you'll have my back.
Yeah, luckily, we'll be right here, because this is what it's been like on the other side. All those weeks that I've traveled, it's usually me sitting here. We've had some really cool experiences. We had a rain out in Austin. It was just me with a tarp. We had a solo show from Gainesville where I was in a tent while they were building a stage after Thanksgiving during the 3-hour show. I was a solo one.
Yeah.
Didn't put that on a ton of resume tapes, that experience. But yeah, it's awesome. I mean, it's one of the great things about this job, and I actually feel bad sometimes for people that put so much effort in back at the Bristol campuses. Like, if you never get to taste some of this stuff on the road, although sure, the travel can get you a little beat up in the course of the season, this is awesome. We're right outside of Cowboy Stadium. It is one of the places, even though it's new, I would never argue you have to see anything that's new, but you kind of have to see this place. It's a spectacle once you're inside, and I can't wait for kickoff tomorrow.
It's hard to describe it. It does look, as has been said before, like a spaceship has landed here. Everything pretty flat in this part of the world. There's this monstrosity where tomorrow night the season will kick off for Alabama and Michigan, 2 top 10 teams, and there's some news today. Gerald Toussaint, running back from Michigan, we're wondering, was Brady Hoke going to get creative, the head coach from Michigan? He was going to sit out a game, but can you really figure out a way to make him not sit out this one? He's not going to be playing, and it's significant because last year, when they won 4 of their last 5, he was over 120 in all those games. And against this rugged Alabama defense, you're going to want this guy as an option for Denard Robinson. They're not going to have that. He's not playing in this game.
No, and we thought when we talked to Brady Hoke last week, actually it was earlier this week, I was taped an interview with him for game day, and we were kind of, dancing around and like, what do you think's going to happen? And I personally have never really had a problem with coaches just doing what they want to do and win a game. They go, look, I'll figure out another way to punish this guy. I want my lead running back to be there in the Alabama game. So it felt like even at the beginning of the week, Scott, there was a chance Toussaint could get, I guess, right with the coaching staff and the school to make something happen. And the sense you got was that there was still a chance that he could play play against Alabama. That was the direction I thought that story was heading in. So this is big news today because Michigan, let's face it, on paper,
2-touchdown underdog.
Right. There's that line. And if you're a Michigan fan, you're saying, well, Michigan can do this. If you're arguing a pick six here, a fumble on a kickoff there, then you're just kind of throwing in a bunch of stuff you hope goes your way. Because on paper, I understand that's not where it's played, but on paper, I don't know how any rational person could say Michigan's going to win this game tomorrow night.
No, you'll be placing a lot of stock in Denard Robinson, and the feature on game day that I'm responsible for tomorrow. I spent some time with him. He's got to be a better quarterback on time, on schedule. 3rd and 8. Can he be a guy that takes the 3-step drop and throws a slant and completes that pass? He knows he needs to be better at that. Anybody that thinks Michigan's got a shot in this game, they just say, well, Denard, and I understand he's an electrifying player. He's one of the fastest guys in America with a football, and he can single-handedly put the team on his back now, and he has. But none of these games have been against Alabama's defense. And yes, Bama is replacing a slew of guys who'll be playing this fall on Sundays. No arguing there. They did it a few years back and replaced, you just fill in the blanks with this team. McLean goes high to the Raiders, whatever. Who's the next guy in line? Darius goes high. Who's the next guy in line? Well, this year we'll find out who are the next guys in line for that Bama defense.
I'm glad you brought that up. Because you look at this Bama D, they lost 6 players from that defense that just won a national title to the NFL draft. 3 of those guys were in the first round. I mean, 6 of your 11 guys out there. You know why they didn't lose more than that? Because they had to still stay in school.
Right.
Okay? So you could argue that defense from last year has 8 or 9 NFL